In October of last year, I hosted an interim study on domestic violence, and at that time we had a lot of really good people who took time out of their day to come and testify at this interim study. There were representatives from the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. We had a representative from the YWCA, the Oklahoma State Health Department, the Oklahoma Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, legal advocates throughout the community, and legal aid, and also the Attorney General's office. At the conclusion of that interim study, it was decided that we needed some follow-up meetings because there was just so much incredible information that we'd gotten about the epidemic we have here in Oklahoma with domestic violence. So we had 3 follow-up meetings, and as a result of those meetings, had 4 bills that came out, and which I was fortunate enough to introduce to various committees in session last session. Of those 4 domestic violence bills, 2 made it to the desk of the governor, and of those 2, 1 was signed by the governor. I'm very grateful for that. It is House Bill 2526. It deals with lethality assessments by police departments throughout the state.
We are so excited that this bill has gone through. Our agency serves all of Oklahoma County and surrounding areas, and we've been a participant in this lethality study as it was a study prior to coming to this bill, and worked with our police department. It was an amazing partnership. What we know is that as victims can get to services, they're likely to stay safer. In the state of Oklahoma, we did a 10-year study, the Oklahoma Domestic Violence Fatality Review Board, and in a 10-year study they found that, number one, the homicides that ended in a domestic violence represented 41% of all homicides in the state of Oklahoma. So we know it is having an impact on us. Additionally, we found that at least 98% of those who ended in a homicide never accessed services like we offer at our agency and are offered at domestic violence agencies. This bill connects law enforcement with the domestic violence agencies and the victim at a point of high lethality, and they can assess that and be able to immediately try to connect that victim with services.
I think one of the measures of our society, of whether we're successful or not, is how we defend and protect our defenseless people in our society, or weaker people. And right now the state of Oklahoma is not measuring up, to be quite frank with you. We agreed to participate in the lethality study because we first of all wanted to be able to have some early intervention in a situation where it was inevitably going to go to at least a serious assault and very possibly a homicide. It was very successful for us. We think we've saved some lives, but we've also gleaned a lot of great information, statistical information, to find out where we're at as far as what the things we're doing as a police department, things we're doing as government, how our social services are interacting. It's been a very valuable tool, and I thank Representative Floyd so much for moving forward with this. I think it's going to be valuable for this entire state.
We're happy to be a part of this. We look forward to providing more training to our officers out in the field by working with the Attorney General's office and others, as well as actually we're going to get the form made up for the police officers out in the smaller communities especially. So we appreciate being part of this. Look forward to working with the others to try to address this situation.
We would like to give recognition to those who are responsible for the research study, and that is Dr. Janet Wilson from OU Health Science Center and Cheryl Brown from the Oklahoma Department of Health. Their research was based on research of Jackie Campbell, and that's why we're here today, and we appreciate those that have worked so hard. The Office of the Attorney General will work along with the chiefs of police, sheriffs, and CLEAT in the implementation, and also our domestic violence programs. As Jan Perry mentioned, that this will be a collaboration between law enforcement and our domestic violence sexual assault programs. So the Office of the Attorney General will be working toward implementation of this lethality protocol, and we look forward to working with our partners in law enforcement and the domestic violence programs in the state. Thank you.